everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at 6 games I played so you don't have to. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit before I get into these games. Today's games all have a theme of them being light, family-style games. And sometimes hear people like, oh, well, just because a game's light doesn't mean it's bad. I agree, and we love tons of light games. My family loves when I bring home games that are simple and easy to play. But these, while they're simple and easy, I just didn't find to be that good. And so let's take a look at them. We'll go from bad to worse. Parks is a fine, wonderful game. This is Parks Roll and Hike, which is the roll and write style game that's based on Parks. And it has some pretty neat components with your own little passport, some dice. The whole thing looks really nice. Let's take a closer look. At the beginning of the game, each person's going to get their passport, which is really just, it's a whole bunch of sheets. This is an unused book, but you're filling through the book, which is a little different than having a whole bunch of sheets. But you have your passport, and then you're going to put the board out. This is the 3 to 4 player side, 1 to 2 over here, and you'll pick a park. There's Death Valley, Great Smoky Mountains, Arches, Acadia, Glacier, and Yosemite, and each of them will have some special symbols on them, and they have some scoring on the back where they'll talk about that. You'll have these 5 dice, which you'll roll up here and put at the top of the board. And the player who goes first, everyone else will get some extra resources, and you start. Pieces are placed on the board like this. You have a hiker here, and you're going to go through 3 different days. On a turn, a player is going to draft one of these dice and fill in those sections in your book. So there's various sections in the book, and each of these different symbols will refer to those sections. For example, the pen here lets me write a line in my journal, and you're trying to fill in 3 lines here. You're going to be drawing pictures here, so if I took a picture that matches here, I can draw the picture on these, and then when the 3 lines are in, I'll get a bonus which let me do something else. You'll notice one of the dice here is a yellow die. That die's different. These dice are free to take. This one costs 1 sun for each other die that's still out there. So if I take it on my turn, I would have to spend 4 sun. I only start with 1 sun, so that's not going to be great. But if I have more, I can mark off the sun and take this. When you take the yellow die, you're also moving this forward. You get to take that action, and everyone's going to get to write a line in a book that matches that one. And that's going to also progress the game. When you get down here, that's the end of the day, and players are going to get some actions at the end of the day, and after 3 days, you'll score and see who has the most points. Each of the parks also has special rules. This shows what that symbol does. In this case, it's waterfalls. If you see animals, you'll fill in these boxes here, which will give you bonuses. Hey, this gives you 3 water. This here gives 1 water. If you get the box above and below some points, you will score those points. Water is just, you're going to fill in water as quickly as you can to score as many points as possible. Over here, you can, when you get one of these pictures, you can draw it in your book, or you can fill in these circles, which will give you bonuses in between rounds. And that's basically it. There's going to be various ways to score points. They're going to show you some of them on here, also points in every game, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Well, here's the thing. This is, of the games I'm looking at, many of these are, they're not that great. This is a very nice produced game. Everything about it, it works. You roll the dice, you draft the dice, you move, you fill things in. If you fill some stuff in over here, it might do something over here. The water gives you points, yada, yada, yada. And yet, I don't love it. I give it a 5 out of 10 because, frankly, it just comes across boring. This game is not a game that's super exciting to me. I find it to be, the drafting the yellow dice is not that interesting. It's a great thing to do. It gives you a benefit, but you're not going to pay a lot of sun to take it early. So usually you will have to take a couple other dice first, then you take it, and the dice are so limiting. I want this die. Well, too bad. It's never rolled again. I'm going to collect water. Well, too bad. You're not going to see much water for a while. And I just found it to be these are my 3 choices. And 2 of them are the same. I guess I'll take this one. I just found it to be not that interesting. Not that exciting. So Parks Roll and Hike, not one that I'm really thrilled with. Midsummer's Night Fayre is a dice placement game, and there's a lot of these out there. This game here is from Game Right. They make a lot of light games. This one has some really nice dice, and it's like a medieval carnival, and you're going to be placing these dice on the different rides or the different fair, not rides, but the different like fair games you play, knock over the bottles, etc. So that's kind of an interesting theme, and I tend to like dice placement games. Let's take a look. Each player is going to get dice of their own color, 6 dice of their own color in front of them. On your turn, you will either draw a mischief card from a pile, or you will play a mischief card. And mischief cards basically let you manipulate dice. Add or subtract from them, swap 2 dice, re-roll some dice, flip 1 die on the board. And these are fairy dice that are out here based on these cards. There's going to be some cards out here. Carnival games, find the pearl, spot the butterfly rat, or ring toss. So you will have rolled your dice at the beginning of the game. On your turn, you'll put a die, you'll take a fairy action, mischief action. You'll either draw a card or play one. You have a hand limit of 3. Then you will play a die onto a spot. When a spot is completely filled with dice, so let's say this one is completely filled, then we will look here and most dice have the same number. And so, well, I guess these guys have most dice at the same number. But let's pretend that yellow played 2 1s. They have the most dice at the same number. Great. First of all, anybody who matches this here gets 1 point. Then the winner is going to roll the goblin dice. That's in this box here. So they're going to take this die, roll it into the box. And that's how many points you get. 3 plus 2, I get 5. So the best thing you can get would be a 5 plus a 6, 11 points. If you roll the goblin, you get no points, ha ha ha. Or if you land on here, you get no points. The goblin lets you steal a mischief card from somebody else. When you finish one of these, it goes away, and we bring out another one. Second place gets 3 points. Third place gets 1 point when you compare the points in these, and they're all different. Here, you want to not match these numbers. Some dice, when they come out, have fairy dice rolled on them. Here, you want to have the most matches. But remember, these can be changed and manipulated too, these fairy dice, just like your regular dice. So you're just going to go through this, and at the end of the game, whoever has most points wins. Well, there's just too much luck in this game. The game itself offers really kind of mad choices, as in I'm going to take a card or play a card, but you have a hand limit of 3. Well, you're going to get that hand limit of 3 pretty quickly. So you play cards. Sometimes you're playing cards, and you'll be like, I guess I'll change this. But that leads to the biggest problem. This game is so chaotic insanity. Like the one I showed you, I think, in the overview, match this number. So there's a 6 there, and someone has 3 6s. And then I go, and I'm going to re-roll that die. Now it's a 3. And you just wasted 3 turns doing nothing. So that's not great. There's just this constant random chaos. But the craziest thing is the points. It's almost always you roll that die into the box lid. I think they thought that was a cool idea, but you can get anywhere from 0 to 11 points. What? It's just so great. My kids are just like, what is this? And then stealing and rolling dice, it's wild craziness at a slow speed. And that's just not great. I like the theme. I like the production. I like a lot of the concepts of the game. And I think some people will like it, maybe, I guess. I just found it to be just not an impressive game at all. A 4 out of 10. That's Midsummer's Night Fayre. My first adventure books. I have 2 of them here. Finding the Dragon and Argonauts. And these are books that you read with your kids, and you'll turn them over and flip the stories and see what happens. But you don't flip the whole book. You're flipping parts of the book. I'll show you one. All right, so there's 2 books. We have the Finding the Dragon and Argonauts. I'm going to show you the Argonauts book. So you open it up. You'll turn to the first page, and it will tell you, hey, you have these 4 wheels here. Make sure they're blank. Now pick which one of these guys you want to be on your journey. So, okay, I'll be Patty. And then I turn the page. It's going to give me an adventure. Do I want to seize the protective gold fleece, go diving, or try to get extra provisions? Well, I guess I'll do this. This shows a 1, so I'll turn 1 page. The ninja rats are coming. Do I want to go with them? Yes, turn 1. Or should I ask Tony for help? Turn 2. So I'll turn 2. And then this says add the harpoon to the blue disc. So I will go here. And then it says turn 1 page, it turned the act. So you'll see that by turning 1 page, it turns everything. And now we're in Act 2. So now I might go look for information in the library. Am I Patty the Savvy Mouse? I am. So I'll turn one page here, and you're just going to keep going through till you get through the whole book. There's lots of pages, and these wheels have various things on them. Finding the Dragon is more of a similar thing, but it's more of a go out on the adventure. So that's how these play. These aren't great. I played these with my son, and we went through them, and he said, nothing I do seems to matter. You just pick a choice and see what happens randomly. The stories feel, and again, this might be a translation thing, they're not great stories for kids. They're okay. You kind of just randomly pick something and see what happens. The replayability is pretty low, and spinning the wheels doesn't seem to work. The art itself is also not great. It's just a bad combination, and I like this style of book for kids. I like Choose Your Own Adventures, and these just don't seem to be very well put together. Seemed like an interesting idea, and in fact, I played things similar to these, but I didn't like these books much at all. A 4 out of 10. They're just a combination of not interesting story, not fun choices, not great artwork, so I don't really like them. Ananda. Now, this is a game I was excited about because it's about placing these really nice backlight plastic tiles, domino-style tiles, like an abstract strategy game. Well, that sounds super fun, so let's take a look. In Ananda, each player is going to have their own little rack of tiles. There'll be one placed here in the middle of the table. Now, on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to place out your guy for meditation. You have to place him in an area where nobody else is. There's only 2 areas to place things now, but as time goes by, you're going to have more. So I place him in that blue area. You can then add tiles to make that blue area bigger. You can even place tiles on top of others, but you can never do a tile on top of a tile. They have to crisscross like this. So now I built an area of 4 blue. I have a handful of cards for my own personal deck, and I'm going to play cards equal to or less than blue. So here's my meditation value, 3. I'm playing these in front of me. Those are points at the end of the game. Now I have an area of 4. I played 3. So I will draw from the outside of the board. I will draw one more tile. I then look at my cards. I only have 3 cards in my hand, for example. There's 4 tiles. So I will draw cards from my personal deck so that my cards match my tiles. Many times you're not going to have anything to do on your turn. And when that happens, you're simply just going to draw a tile. The next person can't go into this area. I'm already there. So they could go to green or yellow and try to make that area bigger. And you can't stay in the same area. You'd have to move to another area next turn. But of course, this is going to get bigger and have more colors and things in it as time goes by. Once all the tiles are placed out, whoever has the most value in all the cards they play, and by the way, these decks here are 1 to 5 of the different values, although you only use a 5 in, I think, a 2-player game. And whoever has the highest value there is going to win. This game has a huge problem. It's an interesting game that's just ruined by luck. It really is ruined by luck. Luck of the tiles, you have luck of the cards. That's a compounding. You'll sit there and go, I have a bunch of tiles that make a big yellow group. I have no yellow cards. And even if you do have a yellow card of 1, I made a group of 5. I play the 1, and I get 1 point. Yes, it will let me draw more tiles, which lets me draw more cards. But if you don't draw the cards you need of the color you want, and then someone's not on that color, you're not going to get any points. That's a huge thing. You're not going to even go through your deck. The game's going to end before you do that. And so that randomness, which is just insane randomness, so you draw a 4, and I don't draw a 4, you're going to get more points than me. But that randomness compounded on just the kind of weirdness of this game. This like, oh, it's Zen. So at the end, I'm like, okay, so I made a group of 6, and I played a card of 3. So I get to draw 3 more what? 3 more tiles. Now, do I have more tiles than cards? Then my cards equal. No, I have more cards than tiles. Well, then nothing happens. And then many turns where you can't do anything, or there's nowhere to go, or you can't play cards, and you simply draw a tile and then watch the next person score 6 points. It's messy, it's boring, and it's random. That's a really bad combo for a game that looks this nice. I cannot recommend it. 4 out of 10. Lore Pets from Wolfgang Kramer, one of the most renowned designers in the world. Has some cute little animals on here, and you're collecting them. Very simple rule set. Here's how it plays. Lore Pets is very, very simple. There's 10 different kinds of creatures. You're going to put them out in the middle. There's certain numbers of each one in the box. You can see that there's, for example, 10 trolls. There's 13 types there's only 4 of, and 5, 5, and 8 of these types. So you'll just have 10 different ones in the middle. Each player is going to get a handful of 6 tiles, and each round of the game, everyone plays a tile from their hand. If I'm the only person to play that animal, I will take all the ones I see, plus if anyone has any in front of them, I take them and I make a stack. Of course, if someone else plays that animal, they're going to steal it from me. If 2 people play the same animal, no one gets anything, and those are placed in a stack in the middle of the table of that animal type, which can then be stolen by somebody else. That's it. That's the whole game. We're going to keep drawing tiles. You'll draw tiles and add them to your hand, and you'll keep playing until all the tiles have been played. Everyone's played tiles, and then you just take all your tiles that you've collected over the course of the game, put them in a stack, and whoever has the highest stack is the winner. What is this? This is just not a good game. You are just guessing tiles. You put a tile down randomly. You hope you don't match other people, like rock, paper, scissors type aspect. You reveal, and then you take a stack of tiles if no one else did. You know what you're restrained by? Your hand. So you'll play a tile, no one else played it. Good. I get to keep this tile in front of me. Or I might take 1 tile. The only strategy in this game is if I have 3 tiles of the same monster, I'm like, I'll play 1, take the big group, and then wait till someone takes it and I can take that back. But if I only have 1 tile of that big group, nothing's going to happen. My kid said this was horrible. I agree with them. At least it's fast, which is why it gets a 4, because it doesn't take too long. It's quick, it's simple, but it is not good. Lore Pets, cannot recommend. Dragon Clans. If you look at the cover, it looks a lot like Pokemon. That's bad, okay? This is close enough almost when you look at these dragons. And not copyright infringement, but come on, man. Try to come up with something different. But we're here about the game. At the beginning of the game, there's 3 dragons here in the middle of the table. Each dragon needs some eggs. You're going to roll some dice trying to get eggs for one of these dragons. Ooh, I got a yellow and a green and a red. You can keep dice, but you can't re-roll dice. It's like Yahtzee, but except you can't keep the dice you've already rolled. Come on. This is my 3rd roll. Nope. Didn't get one. So if you don't get a dragon, and you already have a dragon in front of you, you need to put it back in the middle of the table. You need to put 1 back. But if you do roll what you need for an egg, this one needs these 4, you get to keep it. If you roll the extra egg, you'll take another card underneath to show that it's protected from someone else stealing it from you, because people can roll and try to steal them from you. Once you get it, these eggs are going to be worth points. If you get 2 dragons, they form an egg here, which gives you a special ability. Like, hey, roll a 4th time, re-roll a die, or you have an extra fire egg, or a blue is a wild egg, or no one can steal any of your dragons if you build the yellow. Also, the yellow dice, or one of these dice has wild on it. It's the yellow ones. Have these wild dice, which can be used in place of any egg. Anyhow, you're just going to keep doing this till someone gets 5 dragons, or till you've, 6 or 5, depending on the number of players, or if we run out of dragons to put in the middle of the table. This game is awful. This is a 2 out of 10. That's how bad I dislike this. Well, part of it is the very, very strong trying to just, I need to get my money gun out here. So this is a cash grab. They are trying to get the Pokemon crowd with this game. But on top of that, you roll dice like Yahtzee, which isn't bad, except you can't re-roll dice you've already kept, which is kind of insane. But you roll dice, you have to match up these different color eggs, which isn't easy to do, and you're sitting there matching them up. And then if you don't get something, you have to put back something you've already gotten, or people can steal from you. That's just horrible gameplay. That's terrible. There's nothing good about this game, really, other than it's functional, the dice are decent quality, the cards are okay, therefore I'm not giving it a 1. But other than that, I cannot recommend this sort of stuff. This is the very definition of someone making a game just to make money. I can't see that anyone played this game and said, yeah, that's fun. Yahtzee is 10 times better than this. You'll be like, if kids don't want to play Yahtzee, kids want Pokemon. Then buy them Pokemon or get them a game that is a better one than this. When you roll, and finally get something and you're happy, and then the next turn you roll and don't get something due to sheer luck. No strategy, sheer luck. And you got to put back the one you got last turn. You will start disliking gaming. And that's why I despise this sort of nonsense, because it makes other people, when people play this and it's one of their first games and they don't like it, that hurts gamingdom as a whole. So boo, Dragon Clans, boo. All right, there you go, folks. Those are some games I don't recommend. But hey, my opinion is not the only one. You also have opinions. Maybe you played these and you actually like them and you say, Tom is insane. Well, tell us in the comments. Tell us why you like them. That way people get other opinions. Or if you have played them and you agree with me, let me know that too. Either way, thanks for watching. This has been 6 games I played so you don't have to. I'm Tom Vasel, and this is the Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.